Okay, it's Tolkien Reading Day. You probably know me better as Alas Not Me. My name is Tom Hillman. I'm not very good at doing things on camera. I'm not comfortable, and I don't generally do things by winging them. But I'm going to give it a shot today since it's Tolkien Reading Day. Now, the theme of today is love and friendship. And just to start off there, well, here's my, these are my Tolkien books all the way around there. I'm not much of a collector, but I do have lots of different ones. Here's something from Red Arrow Diner for Corey Olson. There's something for Marcel. I think that's Richard Rowland in the middle. And then there's Alan and Sean and Emily Austin there in the drawing. Anyway, what I really want to talk about here today is something that's kind of like the what I think of as it's kind of like the Big Bang moment of Tolkien, because there's no legendarium, there's no myth moots, there's no us here today without that. I wanna just read you a little bit of that. Let me just put this down here uh, and see what I can do. What I'm gonna read to you from, for starters, is uh, is the Christ of Cynnewolf, which is the Old English poem from which Tolkien got it all. Well, actually, it's a line or two in there when she got it all. You've probably heard this before. And if you're better at Old English than me, which odds are you are, forgive my pronunciation. I'll follow it up with my own translation. Ela erendel, enkele beorchtast, over middenjaar de mannen zendet, und so fasta sonnen leoma, tocht over tunglas, thu tida Johanna of Silvum de Simla Inlichtes, which translates as Hail Earendel, brightest of angels, over Middle Earth sent to men, and true light of the sun, radiant beyond the stars, you illuminate all of time forever from thy very self. Okay? Now, when Tolkien first got those first words there, Eala Earendel Engla Beorhtast, it was like there was a big bang in his head. Okay? There was this singularity that went, and then things started to go from there. He was so inspired by this poem, by these lines, that he did all sorts of research on them. He also wrote a poem himself, and Sean Marchese will tell you he also created from this a character called Earendel. You may have heard of him. Anyway, um, Alan, can you stick in the Earendel sound there, please? Um, okay, so Earendel, brightest of angels, led Tolkien to write a poem about Earendel, an initial poem called, I believe, it's called "The Voyage of Earendel the Mariner," and his friend Bates Smith, who died at the Somme, like so many Tolkien knew, said to Tolkien when he heard this poem that he liked it, but he wanted to understand what it was really about. Tolkien said, "I don't know. I'll try to find out." Now, I mentioned the Big Bang earlier. You hear cosmologists, astrophysicists, talk about the Big Bang, and then they'll say things like, well, in the first 14 nanoseconds after the Big Bang, the universe went from being a singularity to, some uncalculable size at some incalculable temperature. Well, that's kind of what I feel like goes on here. In between Eala Earendel and I don't know, but I'll try to find out. That's that Big Bang moment with the initial expansion. And from that comes everything. And what has this got to do with love and friendship? H. Smith was one of Tolkien's very best friends. As I said, he died on the Somme. He was a poet himself. You can get his book, called Spring Harvest. It's on Gutenberg. Tolkien wrote an introduction for it, and saw to it that it got published. Anyway, who does he tell? He tells this very, very dear friend of his, who is one of those friends who was dead by 1918. And so, from this moment of friendship and affection, comes this entire universe, comes this entire legendarium that expanded for 60 years in his lifetime, and another 40, 50 years after that in his son Christopher's lifetime, until here we are together, friends of a kind, uh, scattered around the world, all listening and talking to each other on this day. And that's just an amazing thing. And so amazing that I decided I was actually going to show my face on the internet to tell you about it. I hope you like it. Anyway, um, my blog is alasnotme at blogspot.com if you don't know it. Stop by, see what it's like. You'll find me on Twitter. I'm gone from the other place. Take it easy, folks.